You've got questions, we've got answers. Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, answering the questions new leaders ask us. It's our goal to help all leaders become more successful, productive, and confident. In this episode, we're talking about the all-important topic of expectations. Let's go. So the question I was asked is, what can we do to ensure clear expectations? How do I do that? It's a great question. It's an important question because clear expectations are the foundation of great performance. Unless I know what you expect of me, how can I possibly deliver? We got to get clear expectations. So it's a great question, but the real question is about how. So I've got a 5-step process for doing that. First one is you got to be prepared and clear on what they are. So be prepared and know what the expectations really are. This isn't like a nod and a wink and say, hey, you know what the job is. This isn't just give people the job description. This is, what is it that you really need people to do? What does the organization need from them, and what do you need from them for them to be successful? Because if they don't know what that is, there's no way they can get there. So you must be prepared, and you must have them clearly understood in your own mind before you try to share them with anybody else. Now, you may think, okay, all I've got to do is prepare those, give them to someone, 2-step process, it's done. No, I said it's a 5-step process. So step 2 is once you're prepared and you are clear in your own mind on what the expectations really are, then you need to have a conversation with the other person. Not just give them to them, have a conversation with them because you need them to really understand them, to put them in context. We all have had the experience of 2 people reading the same thing and drawing different conclusions. If we just send them to someone without any confirmation, without any conversation, we don't have near as good a chance of success, and we don't have nearly the chance for ownership of them. The question was, how do I get clear expectations? But what we also want is for the other person to own them, don't we? So we want clear understanding. That's step 2 in a conversation. Step 3 is get agreement. So we need to make sure we both understand what they are, and then agreement on we're going to do them. And so that's key, right? Step 3. Step 4, write them down. Here's the fact. The fact is that we're going to sleep. We're not going to remember them exactly. And so even though we may be very clear now, it may become less clear over time. You will sleep, and so you won't remember everything. Writing them down takes the words and makes them more permanent. It's not about some sort of legalistic thing. It's about clear memory, clear understanding. A good friend of mine said the palest ink is stronger than the best memory. Write them down. Once we've got them clear, once we've got agreement on them, once we've got commitment to them, write them down. And then the 5th thing that we need to do to ensure clear expectations is to continually review them, to check in, to see how we're doing. As a leader, this isn't like, oh, expectation set, check the box, wait 12 months. No, we ought to be on an ongoing basis talking about them, especially if we're not quite hitting them, to make sure that we've got that clear understanding. So it's a great question, and there are 5 things that you can do to help make them more successful. Now, for full disclosure, let me say that I don't always do all these steps perfectly well. Clearly not. The other person on the other side of this camera right now is saying, Kevin, you don't do all those things every time, but I think I do many of them pretty well. And if you're doing the first 3, and maybe you're not doing the writing down part as consistently, if you're getting expectations met, then you're probably okay. But if you have any worry, any concern about the expectations not being 100% crystal clear, then the writing down process is important. So I'd strongly encourage you to do all 5 steps, but doing any of these steps will put you way ahead of most people and get you much closer to having clear, mutually clear expectations. All of this leading us to today's tweet, which is expectations become clear through conversation, agreement, and writing them down. So I hope this question and the answers was helpful to you. And if it was, I hope you'll share this with someone else in social media, someone else in your office, anyone that you think would benefit from it. We'd appreciate it. And if you found this valuable, then chances are you're going to find a lot of the other resources on this site valuable to you. This site is all about helping new leaders be more successful, making the transition from bud to boss. So whether those are free resources or paid resources, they're all here for you, and I hope you'll take advantage of them. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of You've Got Questions and We've Got Answers. Thanks.